It's okay. We're gonna fake it till we make it. We're gonna fake it till we make it. All right, quit playing. All right, I have a question for you guys. Do you get nervous when you have to call somebody for the first time, or when you're about to do a presentation in front of many people, or even when you're just going for a job interview or whatever? If that's you, that's me too. Guilty as charged. I am the most anxious person in the world. Okay, probably exaggerating, but you know what I mean. I get nervous, anxious, and whatever. And yet I've been working in sales for nearly 7 years now. And I hate to admit it, but every time I have to speak to a client or I make a mistake or I have to deal with something, I freak out. And I'm not just talking about, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I'm talking about, oh my word. I have to calm myself down, get myself in the right mindset, and then go ahead and do it. Probably regret it afterwards and spend the next 3 days to a month thinking about what I did wrong, how that conversation could have gone differently, or how I could have been different. That was a rant. But I'm here to tell you that the more you do things, the easier they get. Have you heard the term, fake it till you make it? Well, if you have, it's true. You really have to. Something I've had to learn over the course of my career is that the more you do things, keep on doing it. The more you do things, the more you practice, and the more mistakes you make, the better you get at doing certain things. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or even just a medical doctor. Heck, I don't even have a PhD, so there's no MD at the end of my name. But I do feel like I'm qualified to talk about this because it's something that I've been dealing with for pretty much my whole life. I have been alive for decades, and I've been able to cope with the anxiety, and it has gotten me to the point in my life where it's something that I know I'm experiencing, but people outside don't actually know. So if you don't suffer from anxiety at all, and you're just listening to this because you're like, what the hell is this girl going on about? I just urge you to be kind to people because you never really know what's really going on inside. Okay, that's out the way. But if you're actually one of the people who experiences anxiety and who wants to learn certain tips to get through it, I got you. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a backstory before I tell you the ways I cope with my anxiety and such. So I have a friend of mine who happens to be a colleague as well. He's extremely intelligent. He knows his stuff through and through. And even when he doesn't, everybody still assumes that he knows what he's doing. He'll go figure it out. And if he makes mistakes, people are confident that he'll figure them out on his own. So I want to be like that, honestly. I want to be that person, that go-to person that everybody's like, yeah, Michelle, she knows what she's talking about. And well, yeah, so I decided to pry and see what exactly it is that goes on in his brain that's different to mine. So I asked him, do you ever get nervous when you're calling a client? Do you ever get nervous when you're selling a product for the very first time? And he said to me, no. Irritating, frustrating, it pissed me off. So I asked him a little bit more because I was very curious to know. And as much as I assumed he was being arrogant, because yes, he is an arrogant person, but I was curious. And he said to me something very, very, very important. He said, nobody should have the power to impact your emotions. Nobody should have the power to impact your emotions. And when I thought about it, it's true. People are usually in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. So why would you give anyone who's there for a season the power to impact how you see yourself as a human being? Why would you give somebody who's there for 2 minutes of your life, or who is literally there just for some sort of business transaction, the power to determine who you are as a person or how you feel about yourself? Don't do it. I'm trying to stop, and it will take a lot of practice and time to really give yourself those words of affirmations. I'm awesome, I'm cool, I'm lovely, I'm amazing, whatever you need to tell yourself, to just forget what the other person may potentially think about you is what you need to do. Honestly, take it from me. Now, the other thing is, a lot of the times, like me, I'm nervous right now filming this, and it may come across to some of you, but for some of you, you might just think, whoa, where does she get her confidence to come on here? Firstly, I'm speaking to a camera. There's nobody else in the room with me, so it's very easy to just babble, get all my thoughts out on the film. But the person who may not know what's going on inside my head or inside my heart may just assume that I'm awesome and I'm cool. If that's you, cool. You're right. But no, in all honesty, chances are other people are also anxious or nervous or going through something else too. So I'm gonna keep saying this in almost every single one of my videos because it's absolutely true. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. It doesn't matter whether they think you're awesome. It doesn't matter if they think you suck. At the end of the day, that's none of your business. Focus on you. Focus on what matters to you and what you think about yourself and doing the things that you need to do. So get through your checklist, move on with life, forget about it. And the third thing is practice makes perfect. The very first time I applied for a job, I was unprepared. I was wearing my friend's clothes that were maybe 2 sizes too small, and I'd been out partying the night before. It's not really my vibe, but I think it was somebody's birthday or something of the sort. So I went there smelling like a cigarette, dressed in clothes that did not fit me, and yet I was able to crush the interview. The second time I had a job interview, I didn't get it. I was composed, prepped, and things just didn't work out. When I look at the two situations in isolation, one thing I noticed is that the very first interview, I assumed that I wasn't getting the job, so I didn't care what the person who was interviewing me thought I was like. I didn't care how he perceived me. Versus the second interview, where I was so obsessed with being perfect, saying the right things, doing the right things, that I basically couldn't even string a proper sentence together. So a lot of the times when your anxiety is clouding your brain, it's basically messing your chances at life. So stop caring, honestly. And I know it's hard to say, and it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. But you really need to stop caring about what other people think, what other people assume, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Just focus on you.
Because your emotions and your life are the only things that you can control.